we spent in Vegas? Well, one of these days I'm going out there, and I absolutely plan on driving to the gates of Area 51 and getting a selfie by that gate that tells me use of deadly force beyond this point is legal, or whatever, however it's worded. But I want to get a selfie with that sign, and maybe even get a picture of the truck that shows up if you start getting closer to the gate. The wife thinks I'm nuts. She won't do it with me, so it's going to have to be one of these times where I bite the bullet and go to Vegas again. And when I'll just do it on an afternoon, because I believe Rachel is a 3-hour drive from Vegas. 3.5-hour drive. And I would just go down to the gate, drive back up, and drive back. It'd probably be 8-9 hour trip. I think that's what the wife and I spent when Tony and I went up to Rhyolite. It's just, there's nothing there except some foundations and stuff, but being a ghost town freak, I wanted to go there because, it's just, for me, that kind of stuff, history and things like that, photographing it is a very, very fun way to preserve history. Because as we're seeing now, they're trying to rewrite it. So photographic evidence, video evidence, all that stuff needs to be made vogue again. But we went to this Rhyolite, and I enjoyed that. But Red Rock Canyon is very accessible. Getting rid of some dust here. It's very accessible. And I think you can even Uber to it, but you don't want to do that because you need a vehicle to get to the Calico Tanks 2 trail. This is, they call it a moderate trail, and it is. There's some climbing involved, but not vertical. Just very steep, but not a vertical. I'd say like going up a flight of stairs, only the stairs happen to be red rock. And as you get to the end of the trail, you come to what obviously is one of the things referred to as a tank, because what we came across was a completely dry pond bed, but I guess during the rainy season it's full of water. And if you walk across that pond bed when it's dry, or take the way around it if there's water in it, and continue on to the horizon you see in front of you, the next thing you know, you're looking down at the entire city of Las Vegas in front of you. And I kid you not, it's the entire strip, the entire city is there in front of you, about the size of your forearm maybe. It's an amazing sight. I took pictures of it. I'll post them someday. I'm going to get back to drawing now, though. So now we've got our mooning maiden here, we'll call her. She has all her skin in. Her friend has a hand over her. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the grass green is the complementary darker version of the brighter version of the spring green. Now I'm going to use a darkening green, and if I'm confusing you, just watch what I'm doing. I'm going to add not the shadow color, but an accent color now, which is going to be dark green. And it's going to be a precursor to where the shadows are going to go. And it also adds depth. Anytime you add contrast at varying levels, the more you add contrast, the less you sacrifice details. So if you're going to add contrast, it's better to do so in different colors, because then you're not losing your depth. But see what I'm doing here? I don't know. I hope the camera's lined up with that. Let's go up here a little. But this is what's going on. I'm taking just the dark green. We'll do her face here close up. And that's how she breathes. Now we're going to give her some... whoops. I love it when that happens. It's going to have an eyelid there. A little more shadow down here. And the only reason I'm whipping through this is I'm very driven. I've literally drawn probably tens of thousands of these. These are my little alien beings, the way I perceive them. But see what I'm doing? I'm not really going crazy with the green, the dark green. And as I get further out, where there's less bumps and cracks and crevices and whatever, the darkness gets lighter because there's nothing for it to hide in. And the same goes for the top of the head, although a lot of them do have this little crown. And I try to accent that very lightly, but not overtly. And then, of course, the brows always are dark because, well, they don't have much for noses, so the brows go down there, and I guess they function as something to separate the eyes, so they don't just grow together and become like cycloptic beings or unibrows or whatever you want to call them. But see, it's not overpowering, but it's accentuating different things. And now I'll really show it here, because you have the darkness up close down there, and then as you're coming off of that bump of the nose, it's practically non-existent. But without it, you can tell, you were able to tell, and then you just add a little more. You don't go crazy. Same with this side. On this side, you just go with a line. This side, you want to fade out your line, and then this is where little details come in. And the cheek. The cheek is going to be semi-sharp, because that is a pretty, and the back of the neck. And then their jaws kind of do that. Usually when I'm drawing these guys, the gals are usually the ones with the mouths. The guys, not so much. And there's a reason for that. It's because they don't talk as much. The guys, they don't talk very rarely at all. And when they do, it's not much. They're not a very talkative bunch. They're a lot like their creator, me. I'm talkative now because there's nobody around. I'm talking to a camera. I don't even think of the fact that someone might actually watch this. I'm just talking out loud because sometimes when there's no one around, I just like doing it. I narrate what I'm doing out loud, and I don't know, it helps me. I've had people ask me at shows or whatever how I do things, and just doing it this way helps me talk with people more when it comes to artwork, because I don't mind people if, we're on the same page. For art, I have great respect for anybody who takes time out to create and share their creations, because, it's becoming a lost art, it seems to me. And no pun intended with it. It's just becoming, it's frightening me. And maybe it's just because I'm paranoid, or whatever the reason. I do suffer anxiety at times, but I don't know, there is no heart or soul to AI. It's hard for me to get behind it. I guess part of the reason is because so much of art is personality based. Is that a fair assumption? Either way, AI, I think, is just an insult, really, if its intent truly is to replace real artists. It's no different than my views on computers and music. You're not going to see talented musicians anymore if they're ugly. They're going to make much more money off of the eye candy that they can auto-tune to sing. I don't know how it'll work with visual art. Well, one thing, it'll be cheaper. going to probably drop the prices of everything, or the exact opposite will happen. Because it's not artificial, the value could increase. Wouldn't that be great? I'd be pretty happy about that. It'd be neat if collectors actually got interested in art that was being generated by a person. So much so that they wanted to start collecting it. What a concept. Okay. So, as you can see, my alien friends here are getting pretty drunk. And, you know, they're having the time of their lives, which is what I guess they all do when they get together. And I'm just adding some accent green. Something that gives it a little more depth without making this final shadow type thing. It's just, see how much more depth has been added to her? I don't think I want her cheekbone that sharp either. That's the nice thing about painting, I guess, or drawing. I'm of course more familiar with drawing, is that sometimes if you screw up, especially if you're using these kind of pencils, you can sometimes just push it out of existence by coloring a little harder over something with a lighter pencil. Or see, like these, I'm making these pencil lines go away on the top of her head.